Hello, traders out there. Lance Ippolito here. Let's get to the free video out there and kind of give a little snippet of the Netflix pre-earnings, and that worked out pretty well, to say the least. Netflix to the moon here. I'm actually seeing some weekly call buying that went up 400% today, intraday, and actually some of the 265 calls near the close for this week. So, yeah. It's in another planet, to say the least. Another stock shooting off to the moon is Voozy. Voozy. This is an interesting name because of the eyeglasses with Amazon relationship. You see very heavy elevated volume here. I got into some of the March calls today in Voozy that went up pretty nicely here, and the last time players were in calls that they were buying them large, the stock had a nice run, to say the least there. So that's a name that's moving up on some elevated volume that I really like to see there. Also too, what's moving in the market here, we had some news on the semis taking a hit today, down about 2%. We'll see if they stay down. It might be a great dip buy opportunity with Intel reporting soon. Intel has earnings here, and then everyone's talking, with the chips going down because of Apple. I'm kind of thinking you had a couple Apple upgrades, and they do have earnings approaching here. I'm kind of thinking you'll see a little bit of manipulation. You've had some downgrades and stuff in Apple recently. And what I really think that people are trying to do is to push it lower, maybe to 170 or so prior to the earnings report, and then we see new all-time highs. Even if it takes out 180 to 200, it's just hard for me to think we're just going to trade lower, and that's the end of Apple with 200 so near. A lot of times these big institutions, if they're not long enough, they need to get longer on Apple, so they'll find ways to drive it down. Like JP Morgan came out with a report yesterday saying weak iPhone sales, blah, blah, blah. I just think that's pure manipulation and such. So be on the lookout. Facebook reports too upcoming. Just because Netflix had a blowout quarter doesn't mean everyone is going to. Microsoft, there's a lot of bullish call flow in this name. So that one will be one to keep an eye out too. Kind of like Microsoft out of the breed here. And then Amazon's been acting up, at least today I should say, with some wild fluctuations. So last quarter they had a blowout quarter. We'll see what Mr. Bezos says this quarter. If the numbers are light, I would not be shocked, and people are going to think I'm crazy saying this, to see 1,200, 1,150 and Amazon. So just, if you are long in the tooth, I'm starting to look to sell positions, get flat, and not get so bullish on the market. I just feel like everyone's long, and usually I like to do the opposite of everyone. Thanks, everyone.